Well, hello there, everybody. 'Tis I, Photo Dave, and coming at you with the red shirt, the red cup, and the green tea. A whole lot of colors today. But if this is your first time on Toypixx, or 100th, well, Toypixx is all about helping you and helping me get better at our action figure photography. So on this channel, I'll talk about action figures, I'll talk about the industry a little bit, my thoughts on individual lines, things along those lines. And I'll also be talking about photography, photo equipment, tips and tricks, tutorials, Photoshop editing, things along those lines. So if any of that sounds good to you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And also, something I like to play sometimes with these videos is see if I can finish the tea or finish the video before the tea gets cold. So let's see what I can do here. Ooh, definitely not cold this time. Anywho, today's video is all about figures that I wish I hadn't missed out on. Figures that, if I had them, would make my toy photography even more photographic or just fun. So, cue the intro. Okay, the first one, and fair warning, these really aren't in any particular order. I was just going through a lot of stuff that I missed and thought, man, that would have been a sweet figure to have. And number one is the Mafex Deadpool. Yeah, I have a respectable Marvel collection. Not tons, just like 4 from Mafex, waiting on some more from Mafex, waiting on a few from Mezcal, all that. But what Marvel collection is complete without a Deadpool? And the Deadpool that Mafex released way back when looks just goofy enough to be hilarious and to add a whole lot of, well, hilarity to my photos. Right now, the only characters I really have that are just fun in a goofy way are my Plunderlings. But if I want to have one of those opposite shots of having a really grim and angry Wolverine, and then having just a goofy Deadpool off to the side, that would be a lot of fun for the whole photo thing. So yeah, wish I hadn't missed out on that Mafex Deadpool. And for this next one, we're sticking with Mafex with a good old-fashioned Mafex Venom. And yes, I know several of these figures have been knocked off and all that. And I'm curious about checking them out if Mafex doesn't issue any kind of, well, reissues. But I'm just not sure. Sometimes it sounds like some might be a little smaller, the quality's not as good, but I'm digressing. I wish I hadn't missed out on Mafex Venom, because even though I've heard a lot of people say he seems kind of small, he is accurate to how he was when he first appeared in the comics. And you need one of those crazy black and white villains. I love shooting Catwoman because of her black outfit, because it just reflects light really well. And I have to think that that Venom would do pretty much the same thing. Plus, it's Venom. He's a freaky dude. He's just cool. Who doesn't want Venom? Not it. Tea's still hot. And now, the last Mafex comic book figure to show up on this list. That doesn't mean it's the last Mafex figure. Sorry. Anywho, it's Mafex SpiderMan. Yes, friends, I don't know why or how I missed out on Mafex Spidey. I want Mafex Spidey. And when I talk about Spidey, I'm not talking about Ben Reilly, though to his credit, he looks like a great figure. I'm just not invested in Ben Reilly so much. I like the good old-fashioned Peter Parker. Now, my gut tells me they'll make another Peter Parker without even doing a reissue, but man, I really wish I hadn't missed that, because, you know, I'm not the biggest Spider-Man fan, but I understand his place in Marvel's history, and the photos you could do with that thing, with all the web accessories he comes with, all that stuff. Put him in a few pictures with the X-Men. You know how the X-Men are always dark and brooding and all that good stuff. And Spider-Man is a little more cheery. That would make for a fun little scene in front of the old camera. Still hot. And now, for this year's goal figure, it's the Diaclone Reboot Battle Convoy VMAX. Whew! I said that in one take. Give me a sec. I gotta breathe. Whew. And take a swig. Here's the deal. I know that I could go back and get any of these figures and pay a premium for a few, but some of them might be decent prices still. But I don't want to. Not right now. I've got way too much coming pre-orders wise. But the one figure that I will absolutely go back and try to get a hold of this year, and good Lord, I'm hoping there's a reissue because of that, is the Diaclone Reboot Battle Convoy VMAX. Whew, give me another minute. Because, hey, Diaclone was the predecessor to Transformers. I loves me some Transformers. And Battle Convoy was the predecessor to everyone's favorite Transformer. And don't lie, he is your favorite Transformer, Optimus Prime. Notice the red and the blue just for this video. Not necessarily. That just happened to work out that way. Anywho, now I'm talking too fast. There it is, Diaclone Reboot Battle Convoy VMAX. I'm going to get that bad boy this year because, I really regret missing out on him. Still hot. Whew. And next up, we have the SH Figuarts Han Solo from A New Hope. Yeah, while everyone else my age was out there pretending to be Luke Skywalker and swinging around lightsabers, I was hoping that I could be the greatest smuggler the galaxy's ever known. That's right, friends. Han Solo is the real hero of the Star Wars franchise. And don't you dare tell me different. I have a ton of stormtroopers from the Black Series, and for photography, having Han do that whole scene where he's chasing the couple stormtroopers down the hall and he gets to the end of the hall and there's a bunch of them waiting for him, that would be, frankly, just fun to photograph. And if I ever get any good at stop motion, that'd be a fun one to do too. Good times. And still hot. Stop making faces, Dave. Look at that adorable cat. It's kind of like I told her not to get in the plastic bag. She's like, "You don't tell me what to do." Smile for the camera, Layla. Yeah, see? I don't tell her what to do. Next up, we're sticking with Star Wars, and we're even sticking with SHF. Go SHF. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish that I had not missed out on everybody's favorite smuggler's buddy, a huge hairy Wookiee, Chewbacca. Yeah. Now, there are several SHF figures I could have put there, but the fact is, Han and Chewie are what made Star Wars just way fun for me when I was a punk kid. Now I'm just a punk adult, and they still are what makes Star Wars way fun for me. So having those two in photos that I could set up would just be so much fun. And then getting back to that scene where Han's running down the hall and he sees all those stormtroopers and has to run away. Can you see like a photo of Han running from all those stormtroopers and Chewie just standing there like, dude, what's going on? That would be a fun one to shoot too. And man, I just don't have any Star Wars figures yet, other than the Stormtroopers. I have a few on pre-order, but Han and Chewie, folks, those characters, those are where it's at. Still hot. Now hopping off the SHF train, but sticking with Star Wars, we've got the Toypixx Mandalorian. Yeah. Now, while Han and Chewie are my boys from the past, there's no denying that in the present, Mando is basically the big hero of Star Wars, and his little buddy Grogu ain't no slouch either, especially if you've been keeping up with the book of Boba Fett. Looks like a pretty tough little Yoda-type creature, because he is a Yoda-type creature. Anywho, pink guns aside, that Toypixx Mando looks pretty sweet, and he might be something that I'm tempted to go after once Toypixx starts doing really well and making me some money and all that. But the first thing I'm going after when that happens is that Diaclone Reboot Battle Convoy VMAX, who is getting way more time on this video than I ever expected. But yes, Toypixx Mando, he's shiny. And he has Grogu. What's not to love? Good times. On the plus side, I do have an SHF Mando and Grogu coming. I'm just not sure. They're not the same. People are talking about how his head seems a little small and the Mafex one seems just right. So we'll see. Maybe something will end up on eBay. Whew! All right. Next. Folks, I keep being remiss in these videos, but make sure you stick around till the end so you can see today's picture. This is about action figure photography anyway. Yeah, good time. So the next one that I wish I hadn't missed is the Mezcal Dr. Fate. Ooh, we're approaching lukewarm. Not so kosher. Dr. Fate isn't one of those characters that I look at and I just think, that guy's awesome. But the way Mezco did him, and I still don't have a Mezco figure. I've been one of those guys that's kind of against the cloth goods on all this stuff, especially kind of when you look at their earlier stuff. But lately, they've been doing stuff that looks pretty good. That Dr. Fate looks phenomenal. And just those colors under the lights with the camera pointing at him, that would just look so cool. That's me. I slipped into a Dreadnought voice again there. Totally accidentally, because what sense does it make to talk Dreadnought when I'm talking about Dr. Fate? Anywho, looks very cool. Wish I hadn't missed him. Maybe one day I'll go back and pick him up, but not this year. Not this year. And the second to last figure that, frankly, I wish I hadn't missed out on. Frankly, any version of the Mezcal Punisher. Yeah. In today's day and age, folks, the Punisher has become a little less fashionable than he was when he was created, and even than he was just a couple years ago. Personally, I loves me some Frank Castle. I loves me some crazy old mayhem. But I'm not sure we're going to get a whole lot more Punisher merch coming in the future. Possibly, because I have been reading that John Bernthal is back as the Punisher in the MCU, so maybe we're going to do okay. But he might, I don't know. I mean, the way people are talking, maybe we don't see the skull on him anymore. And that would be a shame. I'd hate to see that, because that was such a big-time, important part of the design. I always thought that was really a cool differentiator for that character. But, that's why I wish I had picked up basically any version of a Mezcal Punisher, because they look pretty good, and frankly, there it is again. I'm not sure we're going to see too many more in the future. I really hope I'm wrong, of course. And now the last figure on this list of 10 figures I wish I hadn't missed out on is the SH Figuarts Darth Vader from Return of the Jedi. I've seen videos where people are saying this is the best Darth Vader that's ever been made, so dang it, if it's the best ever Darth, it belongs in my carefully curated collection. So I really wish I hadn't missed out on him. Darth Vader is one of those characters that if you followed the original trilogy, and I'm not saying anything was bad about all the other stuff, but if you just go by the original trilogy and you forget any of the other stuff happened, he was the ultimate villain until the ultimate turnaround at the end of Return of the Jedi. It was so cool. He was such a cool character. And now that I've seen the prequels and Clone Wars and all that other stuff, he just seems like a sad character. So that, to me, that kind of sucks. But I understand that you're trying to fill in a lot of backstory, make sure everybody understands who Anakin is, but he was cooler in my head without all the tragedy. But I digress. That has nothing to do with photography. What would be cool with photography are the 8 Black Series stormtroopers I have being led down a hall, or being led on the planet Hoth, although I don't have snowtroopers, being led somewhere by the evil Lord Vader, the Dark Lord of the Sith. That would be just such a cool photo. And again, he's another figure that's dressed mostly in black, so the way the lights would hit him, he just looked darn good. And that's it for my list of 10 figures I wish I hadn't missed out on. Now, there are plenty others. I missed out on all those SHF and New Hope figures from way back when, so I'm going to need to eventually, someday, make an adjustment there. I'm also going to need to learn how to do this a little faster, because I let my tea get lukewarm. That's That's just not cool. Still, it's green tea. Tastes good. Anywho, comment below. Let me know what figures you regret missing out on. That way we can all mourn together. And let me know if you're planning on going back to pick up a few of them. Like I said, I'm going to go back and try to find that battle convoy at a decent price. Good luck for that happening, because like the cheapest I'm finding him at is like $600. But let me know if you're going to go back and see if you can get some of these things that you missed out on at some point this year. Just keep the conversation going. And if you're digging the content, make sure you like, subscribe, share it, especially. And if you don't like the content, go ahead and you click that dislike button, because YouTube digs that in the algorithm too. So, that's weird how the internet works. That's all I got for this time, folks. So don't forget, stick around, see today's pick, and have fun. Happy snapping. See ya.